Of all the great partnerships in team competition, the tandem of Fred Couples and Davis Love has to rank as one of the most prolific. Beginning in 1992, they reeled off 4 consecutive victories in the World Cup of Golf. And these weren't exactly nail-biters. After a narrow one-stroke win in '92, they won by 5, 14 and 14 shots in each of the next 3 years. 1 week before shooting 63 to establish a new course record at TPC Sawgrass, Freddie led the 1992 Arnold Palmer Invitational wire-to-wire and won by 9 shots. The romp remains the largest margin of victory of his career and the biggest blowout in tournament history. That is, until this man came along.
There we go. 32, 19 under par, and now 10 shots ahead.
Within 48 hours during the 2006 Players, Fred Couples was one of 4 players to make a hole-in-one on the 13th hole at TPC Sawgrass. It was his second ace on the stadium course. 9 years earlier, he made a 1 on the 17th hole. Although that shot lives on, Freddie and the Island Green shared an even more memorable moment in 1999.
Just like a putt, huh? That's great.
Fred Couples is on the tee, and of course he is one of 4 to record a hole-in-one at the 17th, and right about now at 5 over par, he could use something good to happen.
In '99, I hit a 9-iron, the wind gusted.
Just finds the water.
I told my caddy I just grabbed another ball. I did tee it up from the same spot, and I hit it.
Same club, that's a 9-iron again.
I don't even know to this day if I saw it, but it flew in the hole.
Oh! Wait a minute. Well,
that's the All-American par, Gary.
That's just classic Freddie. Here's a guy who just kind of rolls out of bed to play golf. You know, I mean, he doesn't really spend a lot of time on the range. Everybody wants his swing because it's so fun and easy to watch. And he just gets up there and knocks it in the hole for a 3. Hey, there's a lot of ways to make a 3. That place just went nuts. You know, Freddie just loved every minute of it. It was just an awesome thing to see.
Couples resting comfortably behind the green after bowling out for a 3.
Honestly, it was the first day. 4 days later, I finished tied for 3rd.
No!
Well, it was the first President's Cup, and the thing was thrown together in about 17 minutes. The 2 teams were pretty evenly matched, and it all comes down to Couples and Price.
Nick Price in the early 90s was the best player in the world, effectively.
It's perfect. Oh.
This ball may go in the hole. It is. It went in.
An eagle 2 for Nick Price.
And then when he was up against Couples in the first match, we were getting whipped. But I think really he was having the better of Fred that day until, you know, Fred does what he does.
Freddie Couples making a comeback, getting this match back to even.
And they get to 18, and Fred hits this 9-iron to the back right portion of the green, and it rolls. It starts this trickle, and it does like this 16th green at Augusta thing.
He can close it out right here. Unbelievable.
You know, Fred's like kind of half laughing and half waving, doffing the cap, you know. He was clearly a bit sheepish about it.
Since that was the first President's Cup, I think that's really what, you know, sent it off to its success. You know, Freddie doing that against Nick Price.
The President's Cup has come a long way, that's for sure. But it was a vintage Fred moment. A little bit of skill, a little bit of luck, and a whole lot of rose-colored ending.
The cup belongs to the United States.
For the first time since joining the tour in 1981, Fred Couples finished outside of the top 100 on the money list in both 2001 and 2002. With his game in disarray, Fred looked to Butch Harmon for a return to form.
Butch, who's a guy who pushes Fred and says, you know, Fred, you got to work harder, and made him, for one of the few times in his career, really sustain practice against his, you know, instincts. And the results were, when Fred practices, he's great.
Couples began working with Harmon in early February, reeling off 4 top 15 finishes in his next 5 starts, and heading to the 2003 Shell Houston Open with momentum on his side.
You know, he went to University of Houston. He knew the pressure was building as the week went on, but he wanted to win. He wanted to validate, you know, the hard work that he had, you know, basically put in place that most people thought that he had given up.
Winless in 87 starts, Couples opened with 65 and took a 1-shot lead into Sunday. Backed by the hometown crowd, Couples kept pace with Mark Calcavecchia, Stuart Appleby, and Hank Keeney before separating himself from the field with birdies on 4 of his last 5 holes, and clinched his first tour title since 1998.
The first University of Houston golfer to win the Houston Open.
I didn't enjoy hearing that last night. They're playing the band. First time in however many years they've had this. It's a great feeling. I owe a lot to my wife and Butch Harmon.
You're entitled, Freddie. You've worked really hard for this. You've worked really hard.
There were just so many emotions there. I know that we're kind of all coming together at the same time, this confluence of, hey, I haven't won in a while. Hey, I used to go to college here. I've got my old support team around me. It was very special. I mean, I wasn't surprised at all that he lost it there.
Fred is a guy, obviously, tremendous talent, very admired, had not closed well in a couple of majors. Shoal Creek in '90 being the biggest example. You know, Wayne Grady won that. Fred should have won that one. And he had a little history of giving tournaments away at the end. I think the turning point for Fred was the '89 Ryder Cup, where Christy O'Connor beat him and never should have, because Fred gave him an opening. And so Fred matured a lot because Ray Floyd helped him get mentally tougher. And he brought those lessons to the '92 season, and he was the best player in the world by a lot.
With 2 wins and 5 top 5 finishes in his first 8 starts, many pegged Couples with the least coveted tag in golf, best player without a major. But that was about to change at Augusta.
He was really on at the Masters, and it was beautiful to watch. Yet, he still had that hurdle of closing out a major. And on 12, he hit a bad shot in terms of, you know, where you don't want to miss it, and he got fortunate.
Hit a poor shot, probably for sure thought that ball was going in the water, and the fact that it hung up, you know, kept him from making a double bogey and basically won him the golf tournament. I mean, that's good luck.
You know, I was pretty fearless and going for the flag, which is a huge mistake. And right there, you know, I just know I've done something stupid.
The thing everybody forgot about was there was heavy rain early in the week that kind of had floods. That creek was way higher up its banks. So I think that's the real reason why it stuck, but it was such a surprise when it did do that, and then he made a great up and down.
I think we all look at that 12th hole, the final day, and the ball staying up on the bank was just huge. But that played into sort of the expectations and fortune coming together at the right time for him to win that major.
With 3 victories and that major monkey finally off his back, 1992 was a banner year for Couples. He became the first American to reach #1 in the world rankings and won his 2nd consecutive Player of the Year award, all of which added to one of golf's most impressive highlight reels.